It doesn't take a master's degree to know that the manufacturing industry in America is shrinking. But when you look at the hard numbers, they're shocking.
Here in our area, those numbers reflect what we see on a national level. So what is there to do? How can local governments plug those gaping holes left when manufacturing jobs disappear? Here's 9 News anchor Tanya O'Rourke with some answers. Tanya?
You know, it's not an easy question to answer, Clyde, and virtually every community in our country is asking the very same question. So we took a look at 2 communities with legacies in the manufacturing world and how they're trying to create a new economy. All GM, far as the eye can see.
Far as the eye can see.
This is Norwood, and what was once the 50 to 60 acres of manufacturing plants that built GM cars and put Norwood on the map. John Mumper, a Norwood City Council member, has lived here all of his life. He witnessed it all. The glory the plant that once employed 9,000 people brought Norwood, until GM shut its doors.
It was 1986 when the announcement was made that they were going to close the plant. And they finally closed it on Black Wednesday. Everybody here in Norwood calls it August 26, 1987.
That had to be an awful day.
It was an awful day. They were 35% of our income.
Mumper says there were dark days after GM and then LeBlanc, another major employer, left in rapid succession. Life with those jobs was good.
We got kind of caught up in these things, and there was no savings for a rainy day fund or stuff like that because they were always going to be here. And you're tied to that, and then all of a sudden, poof, it's gone.
In the mid-'80s, manufacturing first started taking a big dip in the U.S., and its decline has been rapid since then. This is a graphic look detailing the last 61 years of manufacturing in America, the rise and the incredible fall.
In the city of Hamilton, there's been paper made for the last 150 years, pretty much every day. And that's no longer going to be the case, potentially.
Hamilton is feeling the painful fall of U.S. manufacturing right now. What was once the greatest producer of paper in the United States, housing Champion Paper in these buildings and later International Paper, closed at the turn of the century. Only 2 large paper plants remain here, Smart and Mohawk. Both have said they will shut down in the next 6 months. Another 350 jobs gone. In the last 10 years, Butler County has seen a 16% decline in manufacturing jobs. The city of Hamilton has double-digit unemployment, something Tim Wordman, the assistant city manager, is acutely aware of.
Because our industry was so tied to kind of a specific industry with the paper manufacturing, we've taken a big hit here in the last year. So that's going to be hard for us to dig out of. Hamilton
and Norwood aren't unlike a lot of cities, born and raised on manufacturing and now hurting badly. From 2000 to 2010, there has been a more than 20% decline in manufacturing jobs in Ohio. Take a closer look, and you see Ohio has lost in that time 26% of its manufacturing jobs. But Kentucky and Indiana aren't far behind, each losing close to 18%. For 24 years, Norwood has been fighting its way back from losing those jobs. It had to diversify just to survive, and it has. Norwood forced GM to demolish its plants and donate the land back to the city. Multiple buildings are now here, housing everything from doctors' offices to warehouses to retail. In fact, if you shop at Rookwood Commons or Pavilion, you are on the old LeBlanc site.
We're going in the right direction now, and we're trying to keep it going that way.
Work on a $100 million development, Rookwood Exchange, is underway. When it's done, a hotel and cinema will be here. It's one of 3 major building projects going on in Norwood right now. The 2 others are for healthcare providers. In Hamilton, just 10 or so years into shifting its focus, a new plan was just adopted in August. It calls for reinvigorating the city's center and diversifying its industry. This spring, this corridor and underpass, the entry into Hamilton, will get a facelift.
We want to spruce that up. We want to make it look more vibrant so that the first image that people have when they come into the city is a positive one.
New retail is opening here.
We've got a bicycle shop that's recently opened. We've got an Irish pub in our downtown area. We've got a new art store that's opened.
And the city is learning to play up its assets when trying to attract new industry.
The thing that makes us different, which is we are an urban area. We are a traditional city. We have great architecture. These are the things that we have to focus on and try to make our strengths.
Hamilton, with a great Miami aquifer, has a wonderful natural resource and is trying to lure manufacturing jobs, perhaps in the food industry, to its city. Now, neither the people of Hamilton nor Norwood will tell you this road is an easy one, but it is one that has to be traveled. For example, Norwood has had great success in the past 15 years, yet it lost U.S. playing card a year ago. Another blow it's learning to get up from. And diversifying, while important, may never replace the massive jobs manufacturing once yielded. You know, we have amassed a lot of information for you to look at online. You can check manufacturing job losses by county and by state, and there's a whole lot more. You can go to WCPO.com to check it out. Clyde?